Oh god, this is horrible. I don't know why, but I cannot stop blowing my nose today. I don't like it. I don't like it. My brain. My brain hurts thanks to that. Uh, I don't know why. This thing usually happens on either Friday or Saturday. I don't know why. What is this course I'm suffering here? I don't like this. Make it to stop. Make it to stop. I don't think I'm getting sick because I'm always sick. But you know, that could be the case. Ah, I guess I'm just allergic to BS. What else is new? I've been making that joke for, what, a year and a half now? It's been a while, isn't it? Anyway, what do we have for today? Well, we have a bunch of gaming stuff, obviously. But I guess we should start with becoming a common occurrence and I don't like it. I guess we have to start with Hassan Biker once again. I don't like this guy. And he keeps saying stupid stuff, so you know. If he's gonna keep being stupid, we'll have to take a look at this guy. Now let's bring this up. I think this should be a little bit smaller. There we go. I don't think it matters too much. But you know, I like my stuff as normal. Yeah, it sounds so extremely wrong. I don't like this. Why is this happening to me? It's so unfair. I'm dying. Please help. So apparently has some biker keeps making friends. He went into these podcasts. I don't know who these guys are. I don't think these are the trash taste guys. But it's clear that Hassan is completely destroying any chances he has, or had, I suppose, at normal streamer relationships. So you have this clip here. Hassan declares his love for a far-right Islamic terrorist organization known for their execution of gay men in front of his openly gay co-host during Pride Month to Lamau. Hilarious. Not that it's far-right. For the parts of they're terrorist organizations. Why would you do that while it's Hassan Biker? And we have a guy here, David, saying, pretty sure Austin is not just gay, but also Lebanese Lamau, which is hilarious. Let's take a look at this. 25 seconds.
Here, let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my
Yeah.
favorite flag?
Yeah.
Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
Look at those faces. Let's go back a little bit. Look at those faces. This guy and this guy.
Look it up.
Oh.
What my
Yeah.
favorite flag?
Yeah.
Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually a dope flag.
They're probably thinking, what do we do with this? Do we really allow this guy to stay here? Or what's going on? It's really strange.
I don't know flags.
It's this is a.
You know what? I'm gonna be brave.
Come on.
My favorite flag,
It's got an AK on it and a fucking hand holding it up.
Wow.
son.
Or
We might have to cut this.
we're behind the paywall. It's fine.
They didn't get it. And yeah, of course, they're going to have a weapon here if they're terrorists, right? I just understand. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on inside this guy's head. Maybe nothing. Let's be real. Maybe nothing. Get some music rolling since we finished the clip. It's just really strange. It's just really stupid. But even then, it keeps happening. So I had to wonder why. You could have said literally anything else and it wouldn't be this bad. It's so ridiculous. You know what kind of flag I like? The Island of Man. It has 3 legs. It's hilarious. But now, this guy has to say, of course, This terrorist flag. What's wrong with this dude? I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Ah, man. And I've seen some people theorizing on social media and whatnot that Hesang is gonna go over the deep end. There's no saving grace for this guy because he will not be kept in check because he keeps pushing the limits. So he's gonna end up being along or just his ilk, which is not better. And it will cause a huge collapse either for himself or for Twitch. Also, speaking of Twitch, I think this guy also mentioned that only weirdos stream on Kick, so I guess I'm a weirdo. Who cares, really? I don't care what a communist thinks, okay? But also, speaking of Twitch, I also found this, which is... It might be real interesting. Twitch is involved in a class action lawsuit with the Daniel Bleach, which I don't know what that is, it's supposed the name of a guy, leading the charge. Basically, he and others allege Twitch's TOS is so specific and unique that he argues the entire Twitch TOS is invalid. That makes sense to me. They have Daniel Bleach, an individual, on behalf of himself, and all others similarly situated. Interesting. As you can take a look at this. Plaintiff Daniel Bleach, plaintiff from now on, I suppose, by any and through his attorneys, brings this class action on behalf of himself and the class as defined below against defendant Twitch Interactive Inc., Twitch or defendant. Plaintiff hereby alleges, on information and belief, except for information based on personal knowledge, which allegations are likely to have evidentiary support after further investigation and discovery, as follows. Introduction. And I'm gonna be reading the codes. The arrogance grade, I think that's good enough. Plaintiff brings this class action against Twitch for violating the California Yelp law, which prohibits business from including their contracts or proposed contracts just like waiver restricts consumers' rights to make statements regarding the business, its employees, agents, goods, or services. That's really interesting, isn't it? That's really interesting. And we know exactly what they mean by this, right? You cannot disparage Twitch. That's illegal. But apparently it's illegal for them to make it illegal, so it's really strange. Specifically, this provides that a contract or proposed contract for the sale or lease of consumer goods or services may not include the provision waiving the consumer's right to make any statement regarding the seller or lessor, or its employees or agents, or concerning the goods or services. Interesting. It's gonna be a lot of legalese here, so please understand. The Institute further provides that any waiver of the provisions of this section is contrary to public policy, and is void and unenforceable. That's the California Civic Code. And like all of these mega corporations, this is just Silicon Valley, right? It probably is. The Yelp law was enacted to discourage the use of such presumptively unfair muscling provisions in these types of consumer contracts by the potential availability of specified civil penalties. In the event such non-disparagement clauses are inserted into such consumer contracts, notwithstanding this measure, consumers, in addition to the Attorney General or District Attorney or City Attorney, will be able to bring in civil action against the business that violated these provisions. Twitch is a leading live stream platform with millions of California users. Through its terms of service and terms of sale, which Twitch imposes on anyone who purchases goods and services from it. That also includes subs, funny enough. Twitch unlawfully seeks to restrict users' ability to freely share their experiences with Twitch's platform and services, in violation of California Civil Code. Twitch's terms prohibit users from utilizing Twitch, the Twitch logos, and any other product, service, name, logo, or slogan used by Twitch, and the look and feel of Twitch services, including all page headers, custom graphics, button icons, and scripts, in any manner that disparages or discredits Twitch. I'm screwed, then. I'm actually really screwed, because I guess I've actually found this. But you don't know I don't care. You know I don't care. Of course I'm gonna use Twitch's logo when you're talking about Twitch. And it's not disparaging or discrediting Twitch. It's saying things as they are. If things are trash, I'm gonna call them trash. I don't care about your stupid ass TOS, okay? Additionally, the terms bar users from creating, uploading, transmitting, distributing, or sharing any content that is inaccurate, unlawful, infringing, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, lamau, invasive of privacy or publicity rights, harassing, lamau, threatening, lamau, abusive, lamau, inflammatory, lamau, or otherwise objectionable, lamau, will use on Twitch. You don't even enforce half of these. So, if you're not enforcing them, do you actually have TOS? No. You have just the cesspit of hatred and lies. Accordingly, plaintiff, on behalf of himself and all others similarly situated, taking civil penalties, injunctive relief, and attorney's fees and costs for Twitch's violations of California Civil Code. Jurisdiction and venue. This court has jurisdiction over all causes of action asserted to the hearing pursuant to the California Constitution. Article this. Because this case is a cause not given by statute to other trial courts, the damage sought by plaintiff total more than this court's jurisdictional minimum. Plaintiff is a citizen of California because his domicile is in California. That makes sense. This court has personal jurisdiction over a defendant because defendant has its principal place of business in California. Has conducted and continues to conduct substantial business in California, employs many individuals in California, and has intentionally availed themselves of the lands and markets of California through the operation of their business in California. Bunch of legal news to say, this guy lives and works in California. Venue is appropriate in this court because defendant's principal office in this county, a substantial portion of the acts given rise to this action occur in this county. Yeah, that makes sense. So we get to parties. A. Plaintiff. Plaintiff is an individual over the age of 18 years, and at all times relevant hearing was and is a resident of the county of Los Angeles in the state of California. Plaintiff has been subscribing to various streamers on Twitch since 2020 or 2021. Same! He has multiple ongoing subscriptions to the Ghost, $6 a month for each streamer he follows. He has also purchased gift subscriptions on Twitch. I know it's relevant, but it's really strange to me to say this in a legal document. B. Defendant. Defendant in Delaware! Okay, I didn't know that. Corporation, its principal place of business in San Francisco, California. Say, I wasn't that wrong. It conducts substantial business in California through its online streaming platform. Factual allegations. Twitch's terms of service, which users must accept when making purchases, prohibits or discourages users from making statements that Twitch deems objectionable or potentially harmful to its brand, services, or affiliates. There's no more investing there, I suppose. It's just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, as we can see here on this lawsuit, right? Sure, you can add this to the TOS. I don't think you can actually enforce that, because I don't think that makes any sense. How are you going to limit people's ability to criticize your platform? Because at the end of the day, you cannot criticize it. Potentially harmful to its brand, services, or affiliates. That doesn't mean that it's false. Don't you see the problem? Specifically, Twitch's terms includes language to the effect that users may not post content Twitch deems harmful, disparaging, misleading, or offensive. Such provisions are enforced through moderation, account penalties, and removal of content. Twitch deems, that's the problem, right? What is harmful, what is disparaging, what is misleading, what is offensive? We've seen, especially the past 5 years, how the truth and the lies perhaps don't have the best labels. Excuse me, Matt. I'm struggling a lot today. There's prohibits users from utilizing Twitch, the Twitch logos, and any other products or service name, logo, or slogan used by Twitch, and the look and feel of Twitch services, including all page headers, custom graphics, button icons, and scripts, in any manner that disparages or discredits Twitch. Okay, sure. Shouldn't you ban people like Hassan Piker, then, through just this TOS? because they're using your platform. Because let's be real, they're using the service name, they're using the logo, they're using the slogan, and all of this, even though it's literally not copying the site. To post content that should be harmful, disparaging, misleading, or offensive. Surely you agree with the guy, I suppose. Additionally, the terms bars used from creating, uploading, transmitting, distributing, or sharing any content that is inaccurate, unlawful, infringing, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, invasive of privacy or publicity rights, harassing, threatening, abusive, inflammatory, or otherwise objectionable. Well, listen to Twitch. We've seen literally Hassan Piker call for people to kill an actual senator of the USA. Isn't that against this TOS here? I think it should be. I think it only makes sense. But alas, enforcement mechanisms include the unilateral termination or suspension of your rights to use terms of service this. See also terms of sale this. Twitch reserves the right to deactivate any user from any Twitch services for any reason or no reason. So, this paper says we can do whatever the fuck we want. That's not TOS. Once a user has been deactivated, any digital content accumulated by that user will be forfeited and may not be reinstated. These provisions amount to unlawful waiver of user rights under California law to make statements about Twitch and its services. Not even about Twitch, but also on Twitch, which is a big problem. And it is a big problem because it's not enforced equally, once again. The terms constitute either a contract or a proposed contract within the meaning of this. It's a binding contract. You agree by clicking sign up or otherwise registering, downloading, accessing, or using the Twitch services. You're entering into a legally binding agreement between you and Twitch regarding your use of the Twitch services. See also, applying the purchase of product, services, or content from Twitch, expressly incorporating the terms of sale into the terms of service and stating your purchases of ancillary products and services, I don't know what it is, defined as products, services, or content, and your use of the Twitch services are also governed by Twitch's terms of service. Which makes sense, but this creates a huge meatball of nonsense at the end of the day. Accordingly, the offending provisions of the terms are contrary to public policy, void, and unenforceable. Not wrong. Twitch's enforcement of its terms deters users from expressing their genuine views, thereby chilling consumer speech. It's always going to chill consumer speech, right? Because it's a platform. But then again, then you guys have section 230 that lets you be, well, they can say whatever they want because it's not my fault. If you have these protections, you cannot act like an editor, and you're also acting like an editor, thanks to this TOS. So this is just illegal. So easy. It's so easy. How is it possible that I'm not a lawyer? For instance, in plaintiff's experience, about 1 to 2 years ago, there were discussions that Twitch was not paying its streamers properly, and Twitch users had to be careful about what was being said on the platform. People avoided even mentioning Twitch, and it's worth like, we onionized instead of unionized. That's so silly. Become onion. I guess these ads are making me cry and making me sniffly, so I need to blow my nose. It's gonna happen a lot today, so bear with me, please. Horrible. I can only hope I have enough tissues. I don't know if I do. Stop it, dude. Nah. Nah, feels so bad, man. Not like this. And I guess this could also be applied to YouTube. Now, I don't know their TOS, I cannot really say. But if you use some... It's not explicit, but I'm gonna call it explicit language. Maybe you get ranked in the algorithm. So, they're not getting killed, they're getting unalived. I remember when that was a meme. A stupid meme. But a meme nonetheless. And now it's real. I hate Clown World. But they believe that one streamer was even reprimanded for criticizing Twitch. I can't believe that. Twitch's provisions against terms, targeting speech, and attempted enforcement thereof valid this. Entitled plaintiff and the class members to civil penalties and injectable relief. Class action allegations. Plaintiff brings this class action person to CCP? Chinese Communist Party? Probably not that one. On behalf of the following class, all California residents who, within the applicable statute of limitations, made purchases from Twitch and were subject to the terms of service that included the offending provisions. Excluded from the class are defendant, its officers, and the writers' families, and legal representatives, heirs, successors, or assigns an any entity in which the defendant has controlling interest, and any judge assigned to this case and their immediate families. It all makes sense. Plaintiff reserves the right to amend or modify the definition of the class to provide greater specificity and/or further deviation to some classes or limitations to particular issues. Numerosity. The number of the class. The members of the class. I know how to read, I promise. I just said the number down here and it makes them up. The members of the class are set numbers that joinder of all members is impractical. The exact number of or identification of class members is personally unknown, but it is believed that there are at least several hundred class members in the class. The identities of the class members are ascertainable and can be determined based on records maintained by the defendant. True. That's true. Predominance of common questions. There are multiple questions of law and fact common to the class that will predominate over questions affecting only individual class members. If questions of fact and law that are common to the class members are predominant over questions that may affect individual class members include whether Twitch's terms of service violates California Civil Code, whether Twitch attempted to enforce or threatened to enforce such provisions. I'm pretty sure that happened. Whether the violations were willful, intentional, or reckless, whether civil penalties are warranted, and whether injunctive relief is appropriate. Typicality. Plaintiff's claims are typical of those of other class members because all were subject to Twitch's terms of service. True. Adequacy. Plaintiff is an adequate representative of the class because he is a member of the class, and his interests do not conflict with the interests of the members of the class he seeks to represent. True. True and real. Plaintiff is represented by experienced and competent class counsel. Class counsel have litigated numerous class actions. Class counsel intend to prosecute this action vigorously for the benefit of everyone in the class. Plaintiff and class counsel can fairly and adequately protect the interests of all of the members of the class. Well, I would hope so, right? If not, what's the point? Superiority. The class action is superior to other available methods of fairly and efficiently adjudicating this controversy because individual litigation of class members' claims would be impracticable and individual litigation would be unduly burdensome to the courts. Yes, it only makes sense. I'm learning a lot about law with this, I guess. Without the class action vehicle, the class would have no reasonable remedy and would continue to suffer losses. Further, is this loss? What a meme! Further, individual litigation has the potential to result in inconsistent or contradictory judgments. There's no foreseeable difficulty in managing this action as a class action. It provides the benefits of single adjudication, economies of scale, and comprehensive supervision by a single court. What a bunch of legalese! Jesus Christ! Can we see all of this here? we actually can. Look at that, beautiful. First cast of action. Plaintiff religious and incorporates by reference all paragraphs as of fully set forth herein. Which purports to divide plaintiff and the class members to its terms of service whenever they make purchases of goods or services from Twitch, including streaming subscriptions. And sure, you don't need to buy a subscription, obviously, but at the same time, why would buying that limit your expression in this way? It really doesn't. You're still affected by TOS. Thing is, you're gonna get killed. But maybe you were paying. Twitch's terms of service govern the purchase of product, services, or content from Twitch. Yada yada yada, we saw that, we saw that, we saw that. Twitch's terms of service include its provisions to waive or restrict users' rights to make any statement regarding Twitch or its services. It wasn't TOS, I don't know if it's in TOS anymore, about how you could not mention the possibility of Twitch mods, perhaps. I'm not saying this is the case, I'm just mentioning TOS, okay? So you're gonna blame me. You can accuse them of receiving, I don't know, it's just, if it just was sexual favors, but they were included by streamers on the platform. Surely, if you cannot mention that, that never happened. Specifically, Twitch terms prohibits users from utilizing Twitch, the logos, yada yada yada. Yeah, we've seen this. This is just the reference to everything. So, prayer for relief. Wherefore, plaintiff raised for judgment as follows: certifying this action as a class action under CCP, and appointing plaintiff as representative of the class and his attorneys as class counsel. For the civil penalties under the California Civil Code, granting injunctive and other equitable relief as is necessary to protect the interest of plaintiff and class members, including but not limited to an order enjoining Twitch from enforcing or maintaining unlawful terms, granting public injunctive relief, awarding reasonable attorney's fees, costs, and litigation expenses as allowable by law, and such other and further relief as this court may deem just and proper. So, I'm not gonna say that Twitch isn't deep shit, right? I don't think this is deep shit at all. But I also think that this is really bad for Twitch. Because as we've seen, Twitch is in a precarious situation. It has been in a precarious situation for quite some time. So, they should lose here, obviously. What they're mentioning in this lawsuit is just painfully observable, right? It's painfully obvious. And even if they just have to invest a little bit of money into this, it's massive. Because they're cutting you again when you're already bleeding. It might be what they call a death by 1,000 cuts, right? I don't think it's quite 1,000, but it's a similar sentiment. And look, I understand a platform like Twitch not being profitable or not being profitable enough. Yeah, YouTube hasn't been profitable in years, okay? That's why they sell your data. But the only thing they're asking of you is to enforce the TOS properly and not have this. It was not this one, it was this one. Not have this clownish TOS because it doesn't make any sense. It's not going to work. It's not going to fly, okay? You can say, well, you're gonna criticize us. Well, that's illegal. I don't care if that's your TOS. That's illegal. That's against the law. So, once again, I'm not an accelerationist, but I feel like it sometimes. If you're gonna be playing by the rules, you need to crash and burn. Look at that. Look at that. So, interesting. That's why you have people streaming a bunch of different sites nowadays, which I think it's a huge victory, okay? Twitch alone, bad idea. Twitch and YouTube, pretty good. If you can add Kick and/or Twitter, why not? Why not? It's free. Well, streaming on Twitter is not free, but I don't think Asmongold cares about spending what, $5 a month. Don't you have $5? Didn't the guy just make like 40,000 in 2 days of streaming on Kick? Something like that. He can afford it. Jeez, man, jeez. Let's get a little bit into the games now. So, obviously, this week we had 2 big events. Oh, they were showing us some new stuff. That's so good. Is it really that good? I'm not quite sure. I watched the events. I had them on the side. I wasn't paying that much attention. Whoa! What a load of... What? Is there actually anything good coming out? I'm not sure. From the state of play, I guess we have a new Bloodstain, which is nice. I still need to play Ritual of the Night. I only played Curse of the Moon 1. I don't know if I finished it. So I guess I could buy, what to call it, Symphony of the Night all the time. Ritual of the Night, you cannot blame me. The names are similar. On sale. We might need to play that on the stream at some point. I don't think it's that long. It is my understanding that it is a little bit scuffed. I also think the design on Curse of the Moon 2 is a little bit strange from what I'm seeing, but it's Sega, man. You know, it gets my... I cannot finish that, but you get it, right? I like the games. I like Castlevania, so... It looks interesting, I had to say. With campus and whatnot, so it could be cool. And I had to admit that both events are mixing in my mind right now, so I'm not quite sure where I saw what. I guess we have a Neo 3, and I was a little bit excited when I was watching the trailer, because it was like, Takada Shingen! Do you get to play as Oda Nobunaga? No. Of course you get to play as fucking Tokugawa Ieyasu. I was a little bit disappointed, not gonna lie. Also, a lot of these games are mixed together here. If you showed me Neo 3 and the new Onimusha, I couldn't tell them apart. They just look the same to me. It's just the action game, party fiesta kind of action game that we have nowadays, right? Can we get something else? I'm not a Dark Souls player. Speaking of the new Onimusha, if I didn't mishear, which I think I did, if I didn't mishear, you get to play as Sasaki Kojiro, which is actually a good idea. It's Capcom, so to the trash. And aside from that, what else do we have? Like Sonic Kart with Hatsune Miku, Ichiban Kasuga, and some other people, I don't know? Oh! And Joker from Persona 5. Game's dead. Are you going to collab with Persona 5? When do you want to kill the game? The only one that survived to this day was Crumble Fantasy. And I don't like current day Crumble Fantasy, so make of that what you will. Guess they showed some other stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. There was like this shooter MMO on the Summerfest. No idea. Could be okay, I guess. And yeah, they will tell you, "Whoa, look at this! Gaming is back." Are you sure? I'm not seeing good games. I'm seeing okay indie games. I mean, I still can't Bloodstain as indie. I don't think it gets as AA. I guess they also had a new Ninja Gaiden, which looked okay. It looked a lot like Blasphemous. So I wonder if they are being made by the same people. You also had a bunch of China stuff, the usual China stuff. Wow, it looks so good. Yeah, the Chinese commies know how to make palatable propaganda. Unlike people here. You also had... what else? Oh god, I don't want to mention it yet, that's for later. That's for later, the new Deadpool game. God damn it, man, what the fuck is that? Hilariously bad. Anime fighting game for Marvel, which The designs look crazy. Jacket Captain America, Gundam Iron Man, Ghost Rider being voiced by Katsuki Konishi, which is strange. Lloyd Irving, what are you doing here? We also have Dr. Doom, which I'm pretty sure was voiced by the same guy as Old Varn from Dragon Quest I, which was really unexpected. It is a really cool voice, though. People were complaining about how Miss Marvel looked much more white. I actually like the design. The hair is really nice. I think the anime style really fits something like this, more than realistic, right? Jumping from comic to manga, it's easy. Jumping from comic to real life, it's gonna look fucking ugly. How do we know this? Because they tried it before. Star-Lord was also really cool. I recognize the voice, but I don't remember who was it. Who the someone was? Star-Lord. Ah, it was so cool. I'm not into fighting games, but that seems nice. It's Arxis, right? I think they're good. And yeah, not really that excited. I guess they also announced the remaster, I suppose, for Final Fantasy Tactics, the OG one, no advance, which is okay. Why? Import would be fine too. Apparently they're gonna change parts of the story, which that doesn't make no sense to me. And it also has the Nobu, so to the trash. What did you expect? It's Square Enix, right? Square Enix. It's really Enix in Japanese, but But there has been much more than that this week. So here we have, it's Expedition 33 once again. French leftists are trying to cancel the devs of Clair Obscur with accusations of racism. Do you see? Do you understand now? It's always the French. It's always the French. Ah, they might be the French Canadian. It's still French. It counts. Do you understand now why I hate them? It only makes sense. They're grasping at straws such as Sunfall consisting of white devs. Did you know that French people are white? What a concept! Funding conspiracies that Sunfall are racists and are gatekeeping non-whites and non-French from working at the studio. Look, them being French, I will believe this, because the French are actually really racist. I don't think that's the case. That Sunfall consists of the bigots were expelled from Ubisoft after this workplace harassment drama. Okay. I don't know if that's true or not. Let us assume it's actually real. Isn't that hilarious? How a small group of bigots make such a fantastic game, and you have what, 20,000 other devs remaining in Ubisoft making the utter trash that was Assassin's Creed Shadows? That's hilarious. Maybe the bigots are right. They're racist because this whole Black Speech 33 member dies early on in the game. Isn't there like a huge drop in movies? I don't know. Also, isn't one of the main cast an Asian woman? I think that's correct, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The game somehow has a nationalistic and patriotic agenda, which is meant to appeal to fascists. God forbid, a French company full of French people makes a game that wants to say, hey guys, look how cool my country is. It's not fascism. You like in your own country is not right-wing, it's not far-right, it's not fascism. How do we know? It's really easy. Do I like my country? Yes. Do I wish it was better? Of course. Why do you like your country? Why do you wish it was better? Well, I'm one of the fucking morons that was born here and still lives here. How is that so difficult to understand? We have a bunch of screenshots here. Do they have them bigger? Is this a thread? I haven't been looking into this as much as I should have. No. Okay. It's gonna be a screenshot for ants. Let's open this app. Ah, it's much better. Is everything on screen? Barely. Cool. 30 devs and only white people. It's true that it's suspicious. The only one who stayed is the dog. Ah, that means Polak in this context, I suppose. Why do I care about their races? Clearly, they made a good game. I mean, they made a... I don't know if the game is good because I haven't played it. And they're forcing my hand here. Do I actually have to play this? Just to dunk on the lefties? Just to dunk on the Frenchies? Because I would do it, okay? I would do it and you know it. But I have other games I want to play first. Thing is, why the fuck do I care? There's just white people. I don't care. If I went to Japan in the mid-90s into Squaresoft's offices, or Enix's offices, or Nintendo's offices, whoa! What a surprise! Full of Japanese people! Well, yeah, it's a Japanese company, what do you expect? That's normal. We not forget they refuse to hire non-French or non-colored people. Wait, I don't think you can say that, right? Aren't you supposed to say people of color nowadays, even though they literally mean the same? Not that I care, but it's funny. Before even looking at the CV, not because it's good to suck at the game, but we have to start denouncing the studio's problem. Citation, please. I don't think that's true. Maybe they don't want to just hire people. Maybe they don't want to hire more people. Maybe they don't want to hire people at a point in time. They were quoting this. Then behind the exceptional claroscure Expedition 33 will be Japan Expo on Friday, yada yada yada. Okay, nothing of value here. Cool. There were more than 33 developers. The issues work in the game are not highlighted. Weren't there like 250 guys? Of course more than 33. I don't think you can make this game just with 33 people. That'd be insane if that was the case, but that seems quite unlikely. A person of color reported being rejected for a developer position, which inevitably gets people talking. Why does it matter? It's a person of color, I don't care. It could be a Chinese guy, it could be a Russian guy, it could be an Italian, it could be an American, it could be a fucking Martian. I don't care. You don't know. It was because le blacks. You don't know that. You never know that. And they keep saying, oh, but the most important thing is race. How racist can you be? I couldn't be this racist if I tried my best. It's insane. The game itself doesn't really follow the woke codes, with radicalized characters highlighted, as well as their teams in the photo. This appeals to fascists, and is politically exploited by racist video game fans for their anti-diversity fight. Also raises eyebrows among leftists. Moreover, the nationalist and patriotic discourse was very present in the promotion of this game, which makes some people suspicious of the creator's underlying ideologies. But in short, in any case, the game is good, and there's no point in making a judgment on their intentions without concrete evidence. It's probably just a coinkydink. There's a lot to unpack here, and I don't know if this is still Twitter or... I don't think this is Blue Sky, right? It doesn't have the handle with the periods. So, let's see. The game itself doesn't really follow the quote-unquote woke codes with... I think I said radicalized before. It's racialized, my bad. I make mistakes all the time. Characters highlighted, as well as their teams in the photo. This appeals to fascists. Okay, hold up. I haven't played the game. Doesn't follow the woke codes with racialized characters highlighted, as well as their teams in the photo. Okay, if it's a French theme, you will see French people. That makes sense. That's cohesive. Why would you highlight racialized characters in the game if you don't really have racialized characters to highlight, right? Sure, one of the playable characters from what I've seen is an Asian woman. But we know that for these people, this is not racialized enough. It's white adjacent and some other nonsense. So, what are you trying to say here? I don't get it. So, is it fascist because it's good? I guess fascism is good, guys. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. It also raises eyebrows among leftists. It's always the fucking politics, as I'm saying. Over the nationalist and patriotic discourse will be present in the promotion of this game. God forbid, French people like France and French culture. You know, this is so extremely stupid. When you're making me of all people, defend the fucking French. I had to defend them because they're being cohesive, which makes sense. Makes people suspicious of the creators' underlying ideologies. The underlying ideologies of I like my country and I like my culture. That's normal. Usually, you like your country and the culture you grew up in, right? Because you were shaped by it and all that. It's part of you. I don't know. I know that these people are extremely stupid and also evil, so it makes no sense. But in short, in any case, the game is good. And there's no point in making a judgment on their intentions without concrete evidence. It's probably just a coincidence. So you're saying that fascists, by your own admission, make good games. Maybe they were actually right. First the descriptions from Google Nest, so probably not totally accurate, but probably a handful of racist assholes. And it's not here, right? Yeah. So, from left to right? Didn't have enough Muslims there yet. Basically, when I was finishing my studies, a friend and I, who isn't French and racialized for the record. Okay. Would go around the studios in Montpellier to hand out CVs. Is this a thing? Especially in tech jobs? That doesn't make any sense to me. When we arrived at Sandfall, those nasty bastards just yelled at us, saying they're not recruiting, and anyway, didn't take juniors, etc. And they threw us out without taking our CVs. Well, this sounds like totally happened. Alex is standing and brave. Everybody clapped. Also, they weren't probably taking in more juniors. Maybe they had more than enough. Did you see what happened with Ubisoft? They have way too many juniors that don't know what they are doing, so obviously the games are trash. It's good to have new people and to teach new people, but you also need enough experienced people to do that and still provide a quality product. How is this new? I don't get it. Also, yelling? I don't think so. I know that French can be really nasty, but I would need proof of this. Sometime later, I learned that a guy I know who's white was hired there. Maybe he was hired before. You know that. Maybe the guy had specific skills. They were looking for those specific skills. So they were trying to get a specific kind of guy. You know? Today I learned that their level designer is a Raptor fan. I don't know what that means. And Askip. The links are from Ubisoft employees who left during the wave of reports of assault and harassment. According to them, the studio is too woke. Okay, the last part, not entirely wrong. We've seen Ubisoft. They love their politics. We all know that the ASCII was based on George Floyd, the Fent man, okay? Never take fentanyl, guys. It's not good. That was by the wrong animation, by the way. That's not me making shit up, which is extremely insane. We covered that on the stream when it happened. And later in the wave of reports of assault and harassment. Why would they want to work in this kind of company if they just want to make games? Doesn't make any sense. Like, let's say Blizzard with the breast milk tobacco. Yeah, I get it, people leaving because it's obviously a shit show run by absolute clowns. You don't want to stay there. It's going to tarnish your reputation if you stay. We have another one here. As summarized, but basically they're shitty racists. And when we wanted to drop off a resume with a friend who is in French, threw us out without taking our resumes with the excuse that they don't take juniors. Studio's mostly made up of juniors. Yeah, don't you see the disconnect? It's mostly made up of juniors. That's already questionable. They don't want more people for obvious reasons, because it's gonna be bad for them. Whoosh! And all that. You know what? I don't think they're racists. I don't think they're fascists or anything like that, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't hold up to scrutiny, as per usual. That's me defending the French. Hell is freezing over, guys. Hell is freezing fucking over. And we've seen lately that these French leftists, because they're obviously leftists, they're obviously communists, if not worse, they are quite insane. You think the guys in the Anglosphere are bad? You haven't seen anything yet. The guys who don't speak English are even worse. But you cannot look at those normally, so that's really funny. So you're not going to kill yourself and give up your fortune for these poor people from the East? You're a racist. It's not racism, it's self-preservation. God fucking damn it. As it's so difficult to understand, it's not difficult, they're just evil. Also kind of stupid. We also have this one, right? A huge possibility this was in response to people complaining they didn't have enough diverse hires. Why do you care about the race of the people you're hiring? You're only making me more racist. You don't want people to be more racist, do you? We've noticed discussions like surrounding us and our values. So we want to make this absolutely clear. Expedition 3 was created with respect and tolerance by teams and partners from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives. Our game was crafted with love. Please don't weaponize it to spread hate. Which, it's probably the normiest shit they could ever say, which, it makes sense, it's just PR statement. I'm not clowning on them for that. But it's clear that these diverse backgrounds and perspectives are not what the leftists want. They want true diversity. That is, more black people, apparently. Why? I don't know. What else do we have? This is just insane, okay? This is just sheer insanity. I think they have more stuff here, right? Is this real? 11 characters die within the first 10 minutes. Otherwise, everyone in Lumiere besides them. What did Sandfall mean by this? Oh, Sandfall? That's a funny name. That's truly funny. Oh, we also have this thing. First Disneyland drop chain exploit on the Switch 2. So, congratulations Nintendo, you played yourself. So much for going against the emulators and whatnot. When you will be able to hack this thing really soon. At this rate. It can be exploited already. Beautiful. Beautiful. Also, this was from Blue Sky. So I don't know how to feel about that one. And then the Switch 2 is a brick. Good job. Are you sure? If you take out Nintendo's firmware, that might not happen. That's how it works. At the end of the day, this is just a small computer. Everything's just a computer. Even your car, if it's really new. Hilarious. This thing just came out. I guess this is an argument just to buy from the early release, because they're actually released to exploit, I'd say. Funny. We also have this one. I will be forever justified with every time I hate on something or I criticize something. I don't think I've been wrong a single time since I started streaming. Funny how that works. Monster Hunter Wilds Steam reviews dropped mostly negative. Looks like people are not happy with Capcom banning people for using mods to unlock cosmetics. And you have the usual cup cocks here, right? Okay, this is not the one I saw, but it's really funny. The last I heard, they're busy banning mods instead of improving performance, which is abysmal when compared to console counterparts. Yeah, also, I've seen the comparison between this thing and Stellar Blade on all the hardware on PC. Stellar Blade just works normally, even with the notebook, which is really funny. But you have a bunch of cupcocks sucking the cupcock. It's insane. Saying, well, that's what you get for cheating, huh? You don't need to cheat, that's what you get. Were you bad at the game? No, you stupid buffoon. You abject clown. You are defending a big company that's selling you fucking cosmetics for insane prices. How to sing DLC lists for World, Rise, or Wilds? Probably the Wilds one is the smallest for obvious reasons. They have insane amount of cosmetics. Back in my day, they were baked in the game with event quests. And they will tell you, but the game is so good! The game is so good, man, come on now. You just have to get the best computer ever. You just need to wait 1 or 2 years for all of the updates, then buy the DLC, and then wait another year for the DLC updates for the game to be finally good. So I had to wait around 2.5 years and pay close to somewhere between 100 and 110 bucks for the game to be finally good. No. These games were very good back then, when they were 50 bucks or even lower. You are delusional. You are delusional. And people will call you a tourist if you criticize the game. Ah, you're a tourist, you don't understand anything. Typical behavior from illegal immigrants, if you ask me. Just fucking weak. And people were saying, oh, this is gonna be in Game of the Year. Are you sure? I've seen what the game has to offer. It actually seems to be worse than Monster Hunter Tri for the Wii. That thing released 2009, and it didn't have a lot of content. Not a lot of big monsters, and it was missing weapon types. But at least it worked. At least it worked. Ah, fucking Capcom, man. Fucking Capcom. Yes, I'm not buying anything related to Capcom, by the way. We also have Borderlands 2 E3. It's free until tomorrow, guys! It might be ill-advised, actually. Borderlands 2 is free to keep on Steam and Skin Review bombed at the same time because of the end-user license agreement. I'm gonna call it EULA from now on. It's PC Gamer, so they're probably going to suck Borderlands cocks here. I have more information on this, so fret not. You got until June 8th to pick up the best Borderlands games for free, but some people think you shouldn't. I also got it for free. I also think you shouldn't. I mean, you can get it for free, but don't install it, okay? Just don't install it. It's ill advised. Borderlands 2 is free to keep on Steam until June 8th. Also, I'm not as sniffly right now, so I guess I'm getting passionate enough. I like it. If you think people are happy about that, well, seriously, you're wrong. They're in fact madder than hell. They're expressing their displeasure in the time-honored way of gamers, with the good old-fashioned review bombing. You're literally called PC Gamer, but then you tend to only criticize the gamers. I guess this PC here doesn't mean personal computer, it means politically correct. I spit on you. Borderlands 2 is an older game, which having come out in 2012, now that's funny. Also well regarded as the best game in the series. We gave it the 90% score in our review, calling it a satisfying and tactically interesting shooter, with great missions and excellently random guns. Ah, shit, this is Reddit. That explains the guys that like this game. Back in the day, when it was in school, I don't want to give more details. I don't want to date myself too much. Grenade is totally free for keeps, as I mentioned, and it's on Steam. The online store that people actually like. So what could possibly be the issue? Because there's definitely an issue. Whoa, look at that! Ooh, that's massive! Oh my god! They're crashing out! It's not, as you might reasonably think, because people are mad about something. Randy Pitchford said, look, Randy Pitchford was a fucking moron, okay? That has nothing to do with Borderlands 2 being free. Although I suppose that may actually be it for some people. The problem though is that Take-Two recently changed its EULA, which numerous negative system reviews claims it turned its games into spyware. From what I'm seeing, that appears to be factually true. Stop sucking their cocks, man. That's why people hate journalists, especially games journalists. Ah, but Gamergate, are you gonna tell me? Gamergate was positive? No, it was not. 2014 never ended. I'm sick of this. It's actually not a new phenomenon, as reported in May. It ultimately started in March, when Borderlands YouTuber by the name of Hellfire, that's a good spell, posted a video entitled funny wording, Take-Two spies on Borderlands players, highlighting policy changes made by Take-Two earlier in the year. The video turns on two primary complaints. That Take-Two collects personal information like name, username, phone number, IP address, and operating system, in a class that some say could be used by mods or the people who use them. Okay, but why would you get all of this information from me? Well, that's obvious. They're collecting data to sell it. In the wake of that subsequent videos, which drove even more strident claims about Take-Two's underhanded intentions, review bounce fell across the entire Borderlands series on Steam. Eventually it subsided, as things do, but followed up again with Borderlands 2 going free. 738 negative reviews have been posted so far today alone, which is a lot for a 13-year-old video game. But it doesn't matter that the game is old if they change the user agreement to be not bad, but extremely pernicious. I like to use throwaway language too, okay? So that's where it stands. Borderlands 2 is free on Steam, and that triggered a round of review bombing for unrelated reasons that have dragged the recent user rating down to mostly negative. It's not unrelated reasons at all. Are you schizophrenic? You literally said why, but you're ignoring it. That's right, the recent user ratings down, yeah. And if you think that's all for such a highly regarded shooter, well, now you know why. Explain it while you can. You fucking liar. Even 4 people cheering claim Borderlands 4. Quick, for your information. Take-Two/2K updated their TOS this year. Bounty mounts and VPNs for their games. Interesting. They have full rights to collect your voice, location, gameplay, and internet activity data. Many players found out about the changes. Ah, it's not 2 images, okay. So I have, on the left, from Steam. Got it. Do you agree that you will not use exploits or illegal or unauthorized means to interfere with or adversely impact any other user's ability to use the service as intended, taking unfair gameplay advantage, or to gain access to virtual items or other content to which you do not have valid entitlement? This includes the use of cheats, or so-called mod menus, unauthorized mods, hacks, glitches, or any other technical exploits, and phishing, scamming, or social engineering. Okay, sure, killing somebody isn't the same as lying. Yeah, both are bad, but the scale of evil, it's not quite the same. You will not use IP proxying or other methods to disguise your location or place of residence. This includes circumventing geographical restrictions on access to content, access controls, or technical protective measures, or engaging in activities that are unlawful based on applicable local law. Well, you don't need to know about applicable local law, it's just a game. The exclusive jurisdiction for all claims or causes of action between you and Take-Two are the state and federal courts located in New York County, New York, and you and Take-Two each accept personal jurisdiction and we will objections to venue in such courts. That sounds bad. But they also have this. from the privacy thing. The grabbing is atrocious. It's fine. Let me serenade you. Categories of information collected. The type of information we collect depends on how you use the services. Generally, we collect the following information: identifiers / contact information, name, username, gamertag, postal and email address, phone number, unique IDs, mobile device ID, platform ID, game service ID, advertising ID, IDFA, Android ID, and IP addresses. Protected characteristics, age and gender. Commercial information, purchase and usage history and preferences, including gameplay information. Why the usage history? I have no idea. Payment information, credit / debit card information, and shipping address. Internet / electronic activity, web / app browsing, and gameplay information related to the services. Information about your online interactions with the services or our advertisement. And details about the games and platforms you use and other information related to installed applications. Why do you need to know about my other installed applications? Device and usage data. Device type, software and hardware details, language settings, browser type and version, operating system, and information about how users use and interact with the services. That is content viewed, pages visited, clicks, scrolls, etc. Why do you need to know anything about that from my device? I'm pretty sure some of these might need root access, so not good. Profile inferences. Inferences made from your information and web activity. We help create a personalized profile so we can identify goods and services that may be of interest. Surely, that's good. Audio / visual information, account photos, images and avatars, audio information via chat features and functionality, and gameplay recordings and video footage, such as when you participate in playtesting. Why do you need to know that information about me? That's really intrusive. And people who say, "But I don't know, I don't have anything to hide." They can't just take it. You're way too pathetic, and I hate you personally. Sensitive information. Precise location information. If you allow the services to collect your location, account credentials, username and password, and contents of communications via chat features and functionality. What do you mean account credentials? Do you have any actual platforms take to games? I don't think so. And if you mean like Steam stuff, isn't that literally phishing in a way? I don't know, man. I don't know. How we use information and our legal grounds. Use the information we collect within Take-Two as follows. Present to various legal bases. Business purposes. Provide the service and support. Fulfill orders and requests. Improve the services and our business. Develop new products and services. Enhance your experience on the services. Protect the security for our users, employees, facilities, and services. And develop internal marketing and demographic studies. Fucking demographics, man. Anything that's actually helpful. Not anymore. Commercial purposes. Market and advertise our business partners' products and services. Send you promotional materials and administer promotional activities or events. Though that seems normal, but yeah, I don't know about that. You only specifies that you can pull data from your PC at the root level. That might have done it again. Fucking Scooter here. Randy, if you just went to server and subpoena on me for telling the truth about you, you can have just asked for my address. What a guy! But also true, right? Also true. True and real. I don't know, man. You have a lot of people just becoming Italian, I guess. You have a lot of people completely forfeiting their data protections, and this is really insane because I have to say this with a lot of caution. How is it possible that I have good things to say about the European Union because they actually have laws for protecting user data? Also, actually, this is really funny. This would be against European law So how are you going to enforce that? Well, this is my TOS. Well, this is European law, so which one has more pull? I'm gonna say the law, which is a little bit scary too, saying that. I know. I do believe that data protection is good. Don't blame me. I'm not a commie, okay? I'm not a communist, I promise. But I don't know, it's the young people, man. It's the young people, I don't care. And then you will tell them, well, if you don't want to pay for stuff like Netflix, and we have some stuff from Netflix today too, fun enough. Well, you can just sail the 7 seas. No, that's too dangerous. That's so hard. That's so difficult. We're not gonna make it with these people. I have more ranting for Zoomers. That's for later. I will not forget. We have to keep ranting about games first. We also have... Oh yeah. Yeah, the mission Ubisoft first, but... Ubisoft, Roblox, Riot, and now Helldivers! Death and Justice just acquired a 15% stake in Arrowhead Games. Democracy isn't free, in fact it costs quite a lot. I know they're talking about the game, but this is really funny, because this is Tencent. You love China, you will love China. But they make good games. It's not that the games are good. I'm not saying the games are bad. But you prefer Chinese games to Western games, because Western games are just propaganda, and they're just trashiest games. That's happening with Chinese games. They're still games. They're still palatable. That's where they are really dangerous. China's not based, guys. They're still communists. Come on. This is obvious. Tencent has acquired a 15.75% stake in Arrowhead Games. The development studio behind Helldivers 2 for $80 million. That's actually quite low. I guess a small studio. Tencent has previously founded or acquired shares in a variety of video game companies, including a game venture with Ubisoft Games. We're talking about that. Total ownership of Riot Games. Surely the games are good, guys. A major ownership position for Tame Chamber and its own publishing arm, Level Infinite. Speaking to DI, that attack in Smash Bros. Melee. Founder John Pilstead stated that bringing Tencent in as partial owners opening up opportunities for Chinese market. Gaining access to the Chinese player base is the holy grail in the gaming industry. True, but you're selling your soul for the Chinese dollar. This is not new, this has been happening for years. Not just with games, but also movies. It was really obvious with movies. The remaining 84.25% of shares are owned by Arrowhead founders Johan Pilstead, Emil Englund, Malin Hedstrom, Peter Lindgren, and Anthony Steinmark. A recent financial report reviewed by DI. This is Eurogamer, by the way, so I don't know what they mean by that. It said that Arrowhead had a turnover of 959 million SEK! Takeshi! This is Swedish crown, I think, right? I think you're supposed to say those as crowns? I'm not a crony! I'm picking the mic, I'm sorry, I'm not a crony, okay? Crony is a different vtuber. Which is around... almost... almost $100 million. I wasn't quite sure. Too many numbers that were jumping together, I had to shorten it a little bit. An operating profit of 729 million SEK, which is about $26 million. That's a lot of cash. And it's not a huge amount when you see AAA, but people like this game. And the game became kind of fast from what I've seen. Strange balance decisions. The new stuff with cities, people are really mad at it because it doesn't matter what you do. The plot is just gonna follow what the devs want, which I don't think that was the point. You also had the debacle with the fascism and all that. But the game was popular, obviously. So I don't know. It's not a discussion today. It is only discussion today. Saturday is news day. Not much of a surprise considering Helldivers 2 was PlayStation's fastest selling game ever. Yeah, that makes sense. Then also you had the PlayStation Network debacle, which was a huge deal. Way too late for shit, how do you call that again? For refunds. But yeah, I remember the review bombing. Those toxic gamers. It originally found itself the stage of an invasion of Super Earth itself, which revitalized the game's player base. Its highest point since that period of intense launch hype. There's also criticism I just mentioned. All the while, Arrowhead bosses remain supportive of the pursuit of new and interesting ideas rather than trend chasing. With Bill stating at GDC that the industry is doomed to answer layoffs by chasing after the battle royales. Chasing after the battle royales? Is this 2018? What is going on? Are you Japanese? Just curious if not answered. Sort of a Tokana. I'm not Japanese though. Some people think I am. It's the tuba buff, I suppose. Just to thoroughly answer your next question, I've never revealed when I am from, but it is a known fact that I'm in ESL. So I'm gonna make mistakes, bear with me. And first of all, I don't think the layoffs are unnecessary, because it's clear that these huge studios are way too big. What do you mean 2 hours of credits for Assassin's Creed? What do you mean 20,000 devs and the game looks like that? It's insane. It's alright, who doesn't like the Japanese? I like the Japanese. I think they're cool. I like a lot of stuff from Japan, not just the video games. I like to visit someday, before it disappears. Some things are not looking good. And I don't think these companies are actually chasing after the battle royales. They're just making boring games. This is 2025. This is not like 2018, when everything was, wow, a new battle royale. Now it's everything, wow, look at that. Generic hack and slash. Boring. Or generic open world. Boring. There's nothing in it. Just misguided. Also, political brain rot for obvious reasons. A bunch of comments. I don't think we need those. We also have, well, I guess I could have mentioned this before, because we were talking a little bit about the Switch too, right? It can be exploited already. But people are just worrying about the most stupid shit ever. Nintendo means our post-gender on Switch too. And they have the image here. Select a style for your me. Some games may use style as a gender indicator. I always have to remember that funny image on social media, right? Well, why can't we take off the dub for the Type 2? Well, Type 2 is female after all. We all know what this means. Changing the name does nothing. If you were to tell me about body types, let's say 5 years ago, I would expect them to be stand-ins for male and female. I would expect, I don't know, thin, bulky, and ripped, perhaps? That makes sense. That's an actual body type, maybe even fat, depending on the game. Maybe tall and short, all that. No, it's just the body. This is so annoying. We're on the eve of the Nintendo Switch 2 launch, and if a few last minutes, I missed the two words together, happens a lot today. The last few minute details are still trickling in. Like many other Nintendo consoles, you'll create the Mii to represent you during setup. With the Switch 2, the Mii isn't giving a gender. You know, it's pants or a dress. The two genders. My Nintendo news first noticed this detail, and we were able to confirm it independently. Well, yeah, it's really easy to say. It's not healing. When you're creating a new avatar, they can simply ask you to select the style for your Mii. Always. The reduction to absurdity. I hate Clan World. The styles look like the same stock models that several previous hardware generations used, as their male and female models, because they're literally the same. You can change the label, but it's still the same. The Switch 2 has No pronouns or other gender signifiers attached to either one. Pants or dress. It is the most stereotypical shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm not intended on making any assumptions about me gender. What are you, pirates? Ah, me gender. It doesn't nudge that some games might do so. Because it is implied. I'm sorry to tell you this. People will know. Second line of the creator screen says, some games may use a style as a gender indicator. They have previously used gender language within individual games. That was the case for characters creation in recent titles. Splatoon 3, in Animal Crossing, New Horizons. So it seems in line with the company's current approach to put a neutral attitude at the hardware level. I want to say once again, how stupid can you be? But it's really obvious. How stupid can you be? Well, it's a games journalist. It's not the hardware level. This is software, you stupid clown. It's the software you're running on the hardware. The cesspit of hates and lies, it keeps happening. If you haven't ordered your Switch 2 yet, here's all the details you need to know. Well, I don't think I want it. I don't really care about the new games. Whoa! It's Mario Kart World for $80. I'm not gonna spend what? $600 to play Mario Kart? Nah, I'm fine. I have other games to play. I have other games that I don't own to play still. I mentioned Bloodstained before. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great at least. So fucking stupid. So extremely stereotypical, so funny. Wait. Okay, we're ending the games stuff for today. So let's take a look at the first trailer for Deadpool VR game. Starring Neil Patrick Harris as Deadpool. Let me stop the music for a second here. I hope this is loud enough. I have a different trailer, which also sounds kind of low. And sure, I get it. This guy is red, but better dead than red, okay?
Back and bask in the glory of gaming's first quintuple A tropical farming sim experience.
Quintuple A. I understand that's a joke. It's too on the nose.
Oh, hi, new friend.
And the voice doesn't really fit Deadpool in my opinion.
Escape the turd burger of late-stage capitalism and
Late stage capitalism. Oh, but it's just a joke. It's just a joke. What's the punchline again?
enter a world of VR magic and wonder. You'll care for exotic pets, the elderly, and this fucking thing with hip-hop Satan. Oh, hi, don't worry, he's a fascist.
Don't worry. He's a fascist. Surely, this hasn't been used for years to justify violence against people we don't like.
He deserves this big time. This guy's a total damage. What the hell? Who designed this shit? I wiped my ass on this first. You're welcome. Who got the lobotomy with fries? All your dreams of being inside me come true in VR. Spider-Man gets Insomniac, and I get this shit?
Worst of all here, VR shooter, zoomer shooter. You're gonna vomit. You're gonna vomit because of the emotions. My goodness, man. My goodness. Ah, but it's joke. It's just joke, man. Come on. Come on, it's just joke. What's the funny? I thought this guy was supposed to be funny. We went from millennial to soillennial, which is even worse. In the beginning, I mentioned the stuff about how people were saying unalive on YouTube and whatnot, right? First time I saw that thing was Deadpool. It was supposed to be stupid, which, sure, it was stupid. It was not supposed to be real life. I don't think that's gonna be good. I don't think that's gonna be interesting. I don't think that's gonna be anything more than just a bit attempt at propaganda. It keeps fucking happening. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the propaganda. So, well, let's finish the gaming section with this beautiful post that was running around this past week. Surely, this is just a joke. This is just a funny haha. There's nothing strange going on. So we have here, from r/Gen Z, you know it's gonna be good if it's Reddit. Gaming recommendation, if you like playing as a girl in video games, you should try playing as a girl in real life. It's really funny that they say playing as a girl in real life. We all know what they mean. It's hilarious. And here we have, I think this was probably one of the biggest tweets in response to this. Most guys who play as girls in games do so because they are attracted to women. They love looking at women. Simple as. They're saying simple as. And there's also a lot of instances where customization options are just better for the female avatar. I don't even think that's the case. Well, it's gonna be the case for some people. But, of course, I'm talking nonsense on the internet, so let me give you my opinion. Nobody asked, but you're gonna listen to it. I don't create characters that represent me. That doesn't really happen. Maybe it happened when I was a little kid. It hasn't happened in a long time. I just make characters that I want to play, or that I want to see, or whatever. I might pick guy or girl, depending on the game, the classes, the aesthetics, and what I think might look cool at that point in time. It's not a tip. I played guys, I played girls. It's not a big deal. Because I'm making a character, it's not me. It's a character that I am playing. The same as if I was writing a book, for example. If you have 15 characters, they're not me, for real, as they say. They are just characters, that's fine. Sure, they're gonna have parts of you, parts of your personality perhaps, if it's an actual RPG. I'm thinking of TTRPGs in this case. But it doesn't mean that you have to be like, oh, this is me for real. No, it's a game, it's a fictional character. So I suppose, I'm picking the mic again, I'm getting passionate, I'm sorry. I suppose that I don't want to say a lot of people, because I don't know if it's a lot of people, but I've seen way too many people on social media falling for this. They cannot tell apart reality from fiction. That's a big problem. I could make whatever character in fiction that doesn't represent me in real life. What a concept. And that's not even getting into the meat and potatoes of what games do with men and women sometimes. Because you might actually have a mechanic incentive to play as a girl, perhaps, maybe as a guy. It's not a big deal, right? We can mention, for example, games like League of Legends that has pre-established characters. They play guys, they play girls, I don't know. I played characters, I guess they're supposed to be called champions. I played champions with skill kits that I liked. It didn't matter to me if it was a guy, a girl, or some sort of animal, or even tree, okay? Sure, I play Lux, why not? She was pretty easy to use. She was pretty good in mid-lane. You cannot blame me for that. Sure, I also played Graves. God, until I started playing Graves I was trash as AD carry. It was thanks to Graves that I managed to do something something, just something. I'm not gonna say good, but something decent in that role. I played jungle a lot. I played Warwick. I was terrorizing the jungle with that guy. I played Master Yi. I don't know. I played Shang. I played a bunch of stuff. And you know what another character I like? Tai. Ah, it's a girl. It's a girl. She has big, huge gloves and she punches people. That's cool. Also, she was pretty good back then, at least. I don't care. She could have been, I don't know, a tree like Malachi. If I like the kid, I like the kid. You still have the games in different games. I know this happening in some MMORPGs. I don't think it happened in any I played. Maybe Tree of Savior, I'm not quite sure. They had gender-specific classes. So, if you want to play the specific class, you might need to be a guy, or you might need to be a girl. Some other games also have race-specific classes, so it's no surprise. I mentioned Tree of Savior because I do remember the Miko class being really important, but I don't remember if it was female only, or it's just the guy version had a different name, Kanushi, I suppose. But I know some games do it, right? And you can, speaking of MMOs, right? You cannot have the pragmatic choice. Back in my day, I played MMOs with my friends. I don't want to say wasted, but I'm going to say wasted. Thousands of hours in MMOs. So of course, we were playing and we were getting gear. And you know what happened at some point? Well, we got a bunch of mage gear. About the same amount for males and females. But in the friend group, we already had 2 or perhaps 3 male wizards. So I was like, well, I'm gonna make a female wizard and I'm gonna use all of this gear because I don't care. I already have it. And it's that easy. It's that easy. It's not a huge statement about gender or politics. No, it's just a fictional character. And most of the time, it's just pure pragmatism. And even haven't mentioned how in some games, females are actually smaller, they have a smaller hitbox, so it's a benefit for you to play as a woman. Why wouldn't you do it? Do you want to make things harder for you? Maybe you want, that's fine. But if you're optimizing, there's room for that. It's not a big deal. Guys, it's not about gender, it's just a video game. Shut up and move on. It's hilarious that this set is catching current year. But we're living a parody after all. What else do we have? Oh boy. Let's go to the next trailer, shall we? Might get slapped by this. But I don't like censorship. Nobody should like censorship, right? And it's really funny when we get censorship in an Orwellian work. First clip from Ant Circuses and the middle adaptation of Animal Farm with Seth Rogen. This is really low. I'm going to crank the volume as far as I can, but it's not gonna be great. So I'm going to shut up as much as possible here. Let's shrunk the soldier boy.
Things aren't always what they seem, Lucky, and I'll help you decide what's right. I'm proud of you, kid, of all of us, you know? I'm proud of what we have done.
It is pretty amazing. All of us working together.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I get it. All animals are equal, very much so.
All animals are equal. We're all so great. But wait, there is more.
You know, but, you know, ultimately, pigs kind of got to stick with pigs, you know? And cows got to stick with cows, chickens with chickens. And I guess what I'm saying is, ever since I saved you back in the rebellion, I feel like we have like a special bond, you know? Almost like a father-son thing. Is that crazy?
No,
Do you feel that at all?
I feel the same way. I feel the same way too.
Yeah, please remove yourself from this. We're trying to have a father-son moment. Thank you.
Sure thing, Dad.
No, not Dad. You and I may be a little bit more uncle-y or like a distant cousin. Very distant cousin.
Ah, okay. Of course, Pops.
Nope, not Pops either. Definitely not Pops. Let's not do that.
No, I was using...
Well, you can see here. Literally 1984. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. Now let me lower this back a little bit. And bring back the music. Start of a loop. How lucky can we get? Funny how it works. And we have here insane co-op. Based on this clip, it looks like they changed the theme of the story from being about communism to racial and group preferences bad. Actually Orwellian. Rewriting Orwell is just insane catharsis. It's just the peak of clown world. Because of course, these guys could never criticize socialism. What did you mean socialism bad? Well, yeah, it's actually pretty bad. After taking a fair look at history, yes, it's actually pretty bad. So, I was thinking a guy mentioning, well, from socialism to National Socialism. And of course, it's just gonna be our racism bad, the movie. Another one. I mean, Animal Farm is more than that. And I guess we can bring out that quote. I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember it properly. I think it was from actually 1984. I may be wrong. How they rewrote history. Well, it's happening before your very eyes. Fucking hilarious. I'm scrolling with a little bit of hair here. I don't want to see slurs. Trying to have to make it cute and funny. I prefer the terrifying CGI pig version. Okay. Okay. Seth Rogen, hard pass. You lost me, Seth Rogen. Is it going to be the absolute worst boot film adaptation of all time? Yep, that might be the case. That might be the case. Man, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And you have big names like Steve Buscemi here, Woody Harrelson. I guess Woody Harrelson just works on everything. Jim Parsons, really? Sheldon. I guess that's fine. So this is gonna be a fucking disaster. You're welcome. So let me tie back a tangent that I avoided before. When I was talking about Zoomers and whatnot, this is gonna seem like a strange tangent, but it will make sense. Please bear with me. So we have here this anime trailer reveal. Hey, Chang isn't scary. Animation Studio, it's coming sometime. I think it has an actual date. It's about a kindergarten girl that fights ghosts. That seems kind of nice. This is Kai-chan. We can see creepy shit all around here. And that's kind of cool. And we can see here the title for the anime. Kai-chan wa Kokunai. Kai-chan isn't scary. I know that my Japanese is not the best. But shouldn't the translation be Kai-chan isn't scared? It's not the same. It means something completely different. And sure, I understand that the names of the episode is gonna be this is not scary, that's not scary, and whatnot, but I don't know, you still have alliteration and whatnot there, so what's the big deal? It's still connected to the name of the series. That's quite strange, but this is not the only case I've seen this happening. I know I mentioned this before, how I've been reading Hana no Keiji. I actually finished it. And I was looking at my anime list, and it has some possible translations for the title, like flowers of Keiji or Keiji's flowers. And I was like, but it's Hana no Keiji, not Keiji no Hana. So it's obvious that's Keiji of the flowers. Because the guy is so whimsical and crazy. I don't understand what's going on recently with, I would say, I was about to say translation skills, but it's just literacy in general. A friend of mine had the English test this week. Reminder, we are ESL here, right? And he was well, he wasn't really studying, he was probably just okay. He was teaching some of his classmates, he's doing some sort of how do you call this? It has a name in English, come on now. Something like, hold up. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Well, I don't remember. I completely lost it. Okay, hold up. Shut the fuck up, I hate the eye, dude, please. I know it has a name, but it's missing me completely today. It's eluding me. I'm really sorry about that. It happens sometimes, you know how it is. But, you know, those classes you go to learn a job, something like that. It's not quite the same as in the US, but I think it's similar enough. And of course they had a English class, right? My friend is 1 year older than me, so that says he's pretty much my age. But his classmates are just people outside that just finished high school and all that, so late teens, early 20s. And I know that my friend knows English. He's not the best, he makes mistakes like we all do, but he's pretty good, he practiced a lot. And I mean, back in the day we had to be really happy when a new game was releasing just in English. Well, it's not Japanese, we can actually understand this, so it's a huge victory for us. And hold up, I was catching a moth. It's really annoying. It's summer, so they're absolutely everywhere. It's really annoying. And I was checking on them a little bit, and it was an absolute disaster, okay? Because these people didn't know anything. It's not that they have enough skill for their age, which obviously true, but they didn't know anything of the language, literally anything. And so people understand, you get mandatory English classes in school here, starting from elementary school. That's what, 6, 7 years, something like that, up until at least middle school. You have, how much that, I don't know, let's say about 10 years of studying English. These people didn't even understand the verb to be. They were struggling when they were studying past simple and all of that bullshit. But the more I checked on them, the more I understood it's not necessarily their fault, because as I always say, you're never born with knowledge, okay? I cannot blame people for not knowing. I can only blame people for not wanting to know. And sure, they were a little bit fucked. I bet most of them actually failed the test, which is to be expected, I guess. But you realize that they don't really understand anything. Because I was laughing. I was laughing just not to cry. Because they were complaining, oh my god, English is so difficult. Fucking English, this and that. Oh, I don't understand this. And it was hilarious. Because they were just doing verbs and all that, right? So, how do you call those again? Conjugations, I suppose. I was laughing because it was literally the same as our first language. And surely they speak the first language of this country. They do. It's impossible to speak it. You need to speak it when you live here. You're gonna end up speaking it. But you don't understand how the language works. And that's absolutely terrifying to me. Because if you show me you know nothing of English, you don't understand the basis of your first language, I don't want to see your math skill. It's probably non-existent, and that's really scary too. And I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it when people tell me, well, but the English skill in this country is, wow, going up, it's getting so much better. It's not. It's actually collapsing. It's actually going to the shitter, man. It's insane. These people, being late teens or early 20s, have a lower English skill than what I had when I was 13. They should have something similar list to my English skill level when I was like 16. They will never have the English skill level I had when I was 18, and it's unfathomable for them to understand the English skill I have nowadays. And now it's easier than ever. Back in my day, if you didn't understand a word, you had to go to the dictionary. Back in my day, Google Translate was exceptionally bad. It didn't fucking work. And that was years after I started going to the internet and all that. It's really scary. I see these people constantly. They cannot properly write a full sentence in their first language. That's a skill you have to get by the time you finish elementary school. These people are about to join the workforce, and they are borderline illiterate. Well, they're not truly illiterate. They kinda know how to read, they kinda know how to write, but at the same time, they don't have the appropriate proficiency for that. And I see this is not happening just here in this fucking corner of the map. It's happening at least everywhere in the West. That's really scary. That's really strange, and I found some grim solace in the fact that I'm probably going to survive them, even though they are the next generation. I've just seen Zoomers nowadays. They look so old. Like that Australian chick that fucked 1,000 guys in a single day. We talked about her before, right? She's 25. She looks older than my sister. My sister's much older than me. The woman looks like she is in her mid-40s. They're not going to make it like this, man. And I've seen how since millennials, and I say this with caution once again, education has been collapsing. Fuck. Education itself was getting worse while I was in school. It was demonstrably true. It didn't make any sense. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Because you can just have people that are quite literally illiterate, and I know you're liking this alliteration, but they're quite literally illiterate. You can pass them to the next year, in middle school and high school. These are people that cannot be in college. These are people that should fail elementary school because they don't understand the most basic of basic stuff. And even though I don't intermingle too much with the people around me because I'm a fucking hermit, I have the deep labor, like Hercules, of sometimes having to take a gander at streamers and influencers from here. God forbid, they're a bunch of clowns. They don't know how to speak, they don't know how to write, and they don't even know basic math. They don't know multiplication. Okay? That's something you learn when you're about 10 years old. They don't understand how to multiply numbers. I'm going crazy. But I know I'm not wrong. It's the world that is wrong. Because I'm always right. I don't say this as a showcase of pride, even though it kinda is. It's depressing, it's terrifying, it keeps happening. I don't want this to be the world we live in. And I don't think this is random. I do believe that the powers that be, the working class, WEF, all of those globalists and whatnot, actually want something like this, so they can install a new kind of feudalism. I know I sound crazy, but I sound crazy all the time, and I'm not even really that wrong. So you cannot blame me when this happens. Sadly, it will probably happen during my lifetime, so I actually have to worry about it. Just a little bit. You wonder now why I cannot relate to people in my own country? They're so stupid. They cannot look outside. When I've been looking outside for half of my life, I live in a completely different world. But speaking of anime, I still have more bad news for you. I guess it's also hilarious. From CBR, I hate CBR. Megan Thee Stallion confirms Amazon Prime exclusive anime. You ain't never seen an anime like this in your life. Well, she is right. I ain't never seen an anime like this in my life. And I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna watch it. First of all, why anime? Second of all, it's not a big anime. Come on now, we all know it. Let's read through this slop. Jesus Christ, I fucking hate young people. Megan Thee Stallion has announced that her own upcoming anime series will be streaming exclusively on Amazon's Prime Video platform. She recently shared the news while in cosplay during a panel at Houston's DreamCon. DreamCon is nuts. Is that actually a joke? Per the Houston Chronicle, Megan was dressed as Milch's Yuri Shoing for her appearance at DreamCon, where she spoke at the panel titled Power and Creativity, building a brand that moves culture with Megan Thee Stallion. Who is this woman again? She sounds like a boring actress, but I don't think she is. She shared that she collaborated with Carl Jones, the Boondocks, for the project, which will air on Amazon Prime Video, but didn't share any other details, such as its release date or story. She did make one promise though: you ain't never seen anime like this ever in your life. I know. I can tell you, that doesn't mean what you think it means. Also, I'm pretty sure the Boondocks is not an anime. Okay. Whoa! Fuck! Can you share on TikTok? See fucking zoomers, I wasn't wrong. Made a share on TikTok of Megan announcing the anime series, so the crowd erupting in screams and applause. But why? Is this the shonen demographic I've been told about? But the rapper remained tight-lipped about any further details. Now that's it. That's exciting news. Exciting? She said, referring to the Prime Video exclusive. We're excited, she said, while the crowd continued to cheer. Megan's appearance at DreamCon was a homecoming for the Houston native. With the pop culture convention celebrating black anime fans, black anime fans and creators. This is the city that made me and raised me. It made me who I am, she said to the crowd. And that she felt right at home among the anime fans in the crowd. Okay. The fuck is a black anime? What are you talking about here? You can try to change the definition of stuff, but anime has to be Japanese. Because anime is actually a long word from Japanese. Even though in Japanese anime is short for the long word from English animation. Because anime refers to specifically Japanese animation. I fucking hate normies. You don't hate them enough, okay? What fucking Gabi does to a fucking hobby. News of Megan getting her own anime series began to circulate in October 2024, when she said that the anime series is definitely on the way. It's not anime, it's not gonna be good even. On the social media platform Stationhead, in addition to the anime project for Amazon Prime, she's also developing a series for Netflix. What the hell? Jeez, Megan! Your hobby lets you have 2 series? None of them are gonna be good. Amazon and Netflix. It's a spit of hatred and lies. Details about both series, including when they plan to air, remain under wraps for now. Well, it remains to be seen what Megan Thee Stallion's anime series will be about. The surprise announcement feels like a natural move for the 3-time Grammy Award-winning artist. Come on, Grammys don't count. They're not real. We all know that. Over the course of her career, she has regularly expressed her love for anime and Japanese culture. Her 2020 song In Girls in the Hood featured narrative references, and her most recent album, Megan, features a song titled Otaku Hot Girl, with numerous references to Jujutsu Kaisen. So yes, this is the shonen demographic in the US I've been told about. The lowest of the low. Her beach cosplay at DreamCon also joins a long list of other anime characters who have inspired her fashion. In the past, the rapper has shown off looks inspired by JoJo, One Piece, Sailor Moon, and Hatsune Miku, among others. Wow, look at that! Just mainstream shit. Yes, JoJo's mainstream now. It wasn't 10 years ago, but now it is. More recently, to celebrate last year's 2024 Crunchyroll Anime Awards, where she was also presenter, she debuted her own Satoru Gojo cosplay. That's Jujutsu Kaisen. That's Dragon Ball for Zoomers. After Mega's panel discussion with moderator Brianna Williams, isn't it Brianna? That's the name, right? Megan judged the cosplay contest, where she selected members of the audience to come on stage. The audience voted and selected 3 winners, with one dressed as Raven from Teen Titans. No commento. Yeah, that makes sense. You have never seen anything like this before? Well, yeah. That doesn't mean what you think it means, though. I can tell you as much. Well, that was meant to happen. Sooner or later, fucking normies. Getting into the hobby. And fucking the hobby app, of course. And we have this thing. Because we mentioned Netflix before, so we have to mention Netflix again. Netflix launching AI-generated ads by 2026. Designed to match the show or movie being watched. Some will appear as mid-roll ads or during pause breaks. Will roll out to all countries with the ad-supported tier. So, not only you're gonna get ads on Netflix, which is already happening, even though you're paying a lot, I think the ad-supported tier is like, what? 12, 17 bucks, something like that, a month? Which is much more expensive than the actual no ads back in the day. They cannot be fucking asked to have actual ads. They're gonna be fucking AI. And I have to say, I love this here. You wouldn't pay for an ad. True and real. Wait, what? For those of you who don't know about it, but are semi-technically inclined, the likes me server, you're welcome. It's insane. It's insane. You know that I'm not a big fan of AI, but it's only getting worse and worse. Because they keep using it for the most stupid shit imaginable. It's insane, man. What the fuck? AI ads on Netflix. Why do people use Netflix anyway? I don't get it. It's not even good. You don't even have good shows there. Wasn't Curious the canary in the coal mine, as they call it? That was really bad. That was a fucking disaster. That was actually borderline illegal, by the way. No, it's not that bad. Come on. No. Please, it's horrible. It is horrible. Oh man. Not good. It's just not good. I guess I have to enjoy the collapse of things I like. Well, I don't like Netflix or anything, but you know, they're related to other stuff I may or may not enjoy. Anyway, I guess it's time for me to take my leave. It's a little bit earlier than usual, but yeah, just like 10 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. I am struggling a lot today. So I want to try and take it a little bit easy if I can. So I will create the waiting room for Monday. Second anniversary, baby. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be cool. I will try to finish my achiever run of Pokemon Blue later too. I'm only missing the annoying stuff now. It's really rough. I got mostly everything. Okay, let's see, what am I missing? It's just a handful. In a single session, gaming session, not anything else. Catch Chansey, Taurus, Kangaskhan, and Pinsir in the Safari Zone. That's gonna be annoying. Catch all 124 Pokemon that are available in the game. In a single battle, land 5 one-hit KO moves in a row. Guess Metronome and go out with a bang. I suppose it works with both self-destruct and explosion. Be good at being frozen in battle without using an item in that battle. Okay. And generate over 2,000 Pokédoors in a single battle using Payday. Can be done. Oh my god, dude. The Safari ones are just so annoying. I also found out about more hidden items, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, let me mention once again, plan for next week. It's gonna be anniversary Monday. We're gonna have some silly fun, the usual stuff with the silly tests, tier lists, some sort of. Jeez, man, 2 fucking years, so fast. Doesn't feel like 2 years actually. It's kind of cool. Weekend showcase, new outfit. I'm actually excited for that. It's not that grand, but feels quite unique, so I actually like it a lot. And Wednesday, the idea would be to start Vagrant the Story, a Chiba run. And Thursday, start Yakuza Kiwami 2. A non-Chiba run, just normal run. And then after that, we ball, we keep on tracking, baby. Might need to look up at new demos and whatnot for upcoming weeks and all that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today though. Thank you for coming. Hope you had some fun with this silly gaming news from today. And I'll see you all on Monday. Until then, take care. And don't buy the slab, it's just trash.